Hello and welcome everyone, it's me, LinkingX2, and we're back at the LCK Finals. Down 1 Kia versus T1, down 1 Kia on the blue side, T1 on the red side, and well, this is going to be a series for the ages. Down 1 Kia on the precipice of winning their third LCK title in a row, and T1 obviously battling Kkoma for the 10th title in general. And now, without further ado, let's get right into the draft. Down 1 Kia here locking in the first pick Ryze. T1 here considering the Azir. Obviously the matchup Ryze Azir is quite favorable for the Azir. T1 here picking the Viego for themselves for either owner or Canna, and then the Azir. Viego obviously has the benefit of being a flex pick. Azir is not a flex pick, and yeah, I don't think there was any danger of him being picked away. The Azir pick is quite terrible, I think. Could have been picked now if you really want to secure it before the ban phase. Now down 1 Kia has locked in the Ashe for Ghost, so they got what they wanted, a supportive AD carry in the bot lane, because that's the place where down 1 Kia really needs to stop the bleeding against Teddy and Carrier. Next to that, the Camille for Khan versus Canna, but Gwen being locked in here for Canna against the Camille. So that's going to be an exciting matchup. T1 here after the ban phase considering picking up the Leona. So that's obviously a great pick for Carrier. They keep Teddy's AD carry pick for last. So far T1 looking to scale nicely, looking for team fights, while down 1 Kia also has good scaling, but is more looking for split pushing with Ryze and Camille in the side lanes, having Ashe support them with her CC, and also having a lot of pick potential with Ryze, Ashe and Camille. Now locking in the Braum will add to that, and also with Ashe and Braum they have a super defensive bot lane with all the slows and all the defensive capabilities to protect themselves. And Teddy gets hands on Ezreal again. So Ezreal obviously with his mobility fits in right nicely here against down 1 Kia's pick potential, and against Trundle's Pillar for example, the standard AD carry without any mobility would have suffered quite a lot. Looking at the comps here in general, Camille versus Gwen in the top lane, I think that matchup is quite good for both sides, depending on Canyons and owners interference. I think that will edge out one winner in the mid lane, Ryze versus Azir. Azir obviously has the range advantage, but later on in the side lanes Ryze will be unmatched in that department. In the bot lane we have the Frost duo Ashe and Braum versus Ezreal Leona. Ezreal Leona obviously very fierce lane, and considering the fact that they are in the hands of the stronger bot lane with Teddy and Carrier, we can assume that they have the pressure advantage there. Looking at the skirmishes, T1 will suffer a bit because they need a bit more time. On the other side, Ryze obviously gets better with more items, but he can fight earlier than the Azir, and the bot lane also has an earlier wake up. Overall, I would give the draft advantage here to down 1 Kia. They really got what they wanted, the defensive bot lane and a carry in mid and top that can be supported by a reliable jungler. While T1 on the other hand, they also got champions that they are very comfortable with in comparison to what down 1 Kia has, and mentioning the early weakness of T1 that could become an issue in the ensuing fights. With a draft advantage here in down 1 Kia's hands, but comfort also in T1's, on paper we should give the edge here to down 1 Kia. So throw all of that out of the window because T1 is going to win, and yeah, we're now going to lay back to grab our drink. Smell of victory, right? And now going to enjoy the show. Hello and welcome back in draft number 2. Down 1 Kia managed to get the first W over T1. Well, and we see T1 did elect for the red side again. Maybe they don't think they need to adapt that much in the drafting phase. I would disagree. Their draft, as I mentioned, was not superb. Down 1 Kia obviously started very strong with their better early game champions and snowballed that lead quite handily. T1 managed to nearly come back, but then a few macro errors here and there. So in the end, down 1 Kia managed to get the first W, but T1 still looked quite good, even though from the draft on and from the game on, they were in a disadvantage. So the Ryze first pick potential does go away, but down 1 Kia probably going to lock in the Camille again for Khan, who had a great showing on the pick. T1 here locking in again the Viego. Last time they locked in the Azir next to him, so that's not possible now. So maybe, just maybe they lock in the Gwen again here at this point against the Camille. It seems to be the Gwen. The Gwen and Viego obviously very powerful champions, but T1 needs to have a comp and a playstyle that accompanies that. Obviously these two are top side champions, and T1 obviously usually has their stand in the bot side. So that's also a bit counterproductive to the usual strategy T1 should take against down 1 Kia with the bot side advantage. Down 1 Kia here looking in the Ziggs that this time is not banned instead of the Ryze, so that gives Ghost another champion and another option to cheat the laning phase. Next to that we have Leona pick away from Carrier, so down 1 Kia here again having great split push tools with Ziggs, being able to clear the waves quite easily. And it's going to be Faker's LeBlanc. Faker's LeBlanc obviously has quite a nice chance here to pick up the Ziggs. Also Camille in the side lanes will be a bit more vulnerable to LeBlanc. Faker throwing down the gauntlet against Showmaker, saying, yeah, you can't touch this. LeBlanc, come on, pick whatever you want. So obviously Showmaker now has the option to go for some like Morgana and Galio approaches, but he could also say, I don't know, I pick Yasuo or something, because Yasuo Diana combo is still available. T1 here obviously, and now picking up their bot lane, probably picking the support first, and it's going to be in the Trundle, which is also a pick away from Canyon, so that's a very, very smart idea here. Downward here hovering the Kassadin lock-in. We haven't seen Kassadin all year. Like, I don't think anyone has ever played Kassadin this entire year. Maybe somewhere in Russia, but wow. And Olaf, and then okay. What is this? We see Faker's LeBlanc, we see Teddy with Vayne, we see Downward Kia pick Kassadin mid. It's going to be great. It's going to be super great. Talking about the matchups, Downward Kia obviously with Camille. Olaf, Kassadin, Ziggs and Leona on the other side, Gwen, Viego, LeBlanc, Vayne and Trundle. Top lane matchup is still the same. Olaf versus Viego. Olaf obviously has the early game advantage, then Viego ramps up later and has greater snowball potential. Kassadin versus LeBlanc. Obviously LeBlanc has that in the early game, but Kassadin obviously is a super menace in the later stages. Probably a hidden pocket pick Showmaker has prepared, and alongside the Ziggs in the bot lane, Downward Kia has so much damage and so much AP burst later on. So T1 has a lot of tank shredding abilities with the Gwen, with the Viego percentage damage. Next to that the Vayne with her silver bolts and the subjugate from Trundle. But the thing is, Downward Kia doesn't really have a lot of tanks. So then let's see if the Kassadin or the Blanc can make the difference in this second game. So let's go to... Welcome back in draft number 3, and yeah, pray to whatever god you know or don't know, whatever. T1 needs something new, and they respond with picking up the blue side. This is something good. This is what we recommend. Blue side is still probably the stronger side, but they also pick up Gumayusi instead of Teddy, and yeah, that looks like a mistake in my book. Teddy obviously alongside Faker, I think the two players from T1 that performed the best so far in the series, switching him out. No, please don't. But whatever, I don't care. Gumayusi comes in, Gumayusi is going to win. That's how it goes, because T1 is going to make the 3-2 upset, and I will look silly if that doesn't happen, but I don't care. T1. But T1 also bans the Ziggs here, so that makes no sense. You pick Gumayusi because he can play the Ziggs, right? That's the reason, right? Right? And also your blue side, and you ban the Ryze. What are you doing, T1? Do you think you get Jace and then like Canna is doing well in top side? Downward Kia will ban Jace here. They are going to do it. Just now. And what did I say? They banned the Jace. T1 put all the eggs into the Jace basket. Now they don't have Ziggs for Guma. Now they don't have Ryze for Faker. What are they going to first pick? They first pick Viego. So Viego a third time for Owner. And I think Owner didn't play too bad, but Downward Kia just played well around Viego. Stopwatches, flashes, untargetability, always denying the resets. First time, Renekton is not banned from T1. This time they banned the Camille instead, so now Renekton Diana come through. Diana beats Viego in the jungle in most cases. Renekton, he couldn't go in either the mid lane or in the top lane. Kennen here being picked up as an answer to that. That can obviously work. Let's hope. I mean, Canna's Kennen was quite good. Yeah, okay, now we see the Azir. T1 says, okay, Faker, hold out in mid, like, do your own thing. Viego Kennen, we make a party top. Downward Kia picks Kassadin here again. And then what? Azir is not going to pressure Kassadin. Downward Kia, they have Renekton Diana for the early mid game, then Kassadin for late game. T1 has no reliable CC now against the Kassadin. Already looking bad again. I mean, so far, you would say Kennen wins against Renekton, but you know Diana is going to ignore all jungle camps and just live in topside. Now with the blue side, the top lane layout is a bit better for Kennen, so maybe he won't get doped as much. Ghost goes for Kalista. So, Ghost, contrary to popular belief, as a role-playing AD carry in most cases, has a decent Kalista. Obviously, if you have Beryl as your support, your Kalista always will look better. But his Kalista is not bad. Now T1 has the option to pick something like Draven or Jinx. So they go with a defensive approach, Jinx, Braum, and then we will see probably Kalista, Leona from down 1 Kia. I mean, yeah, Trundle. Nah, Trundle doesn't make too much sense yet. Trundle against the Jinx would be nice, but Leona is a bit more reliable, I think. And with her ultimate, it's a bit easier to catch Azir, for example, than the Trundle pillar. Also the Rel, Barrel's still undefeated on the Rel. He's like 12-0. So yeah, that's also an option here for them. Showmaker 7-1 on the Kassadin. Barrel undefeated on Rel. Diana win rate for Canyon also super high. So down 1 Kia, they get comfort and they get a comp that is super strong early to mid game, and with the Kassadin have late game scaling as well. Let's look at the laning phases. Kennen versus Renekton, so that should go into Kennen's favor, but Diana's going to camp top like 20 million times, so can owner this time help top lane and circumvent that? We have to hope and see. Mid lane matchup, Faker can bully in the mid lane, just like with the LeBlanc game, but the thing is, it won't really matter, right? Kassadin can still farm, and yeah, Mayushi now, with all the like stress and burden on his shoulders, will he be able to pop off? Let's hope so, because we're obviously praying, hoping, hook me up with all the copium in the world, give me all the hopium, copium, whatever, because I still believe in the T1 reverse sweep. I think it would be the first reverse sweep in LCK Finals ever, but anyway, T1 only has lost 1 final so far. Let's not make it 2. Let's cheat for T1, because they're going to at least win 1 game here. At least we hope so, right? So, see you in the next draft. Let's go! T1, just like I said. They're back in it again with the 1-2 score, and the reverse sweep is on the horizon. Let's get it. Down 1 Kia, still at match point, so don't be overconfident, but let's go, guys. What a great game, complete stomp, 20-minute game, like 17 minutes, 2 inhibs, just great. T1 back on the blue side. I said it this time, last week and so on. Blue side at the moment super strong. T1 here with this time banning the Diana over the Ryze. So they say down 1 Kia, okay, Ryze or Jace. Down 1 Kia can now say, okay, we ban neither the Ryze or the Jace. T1 gets one and we can pick the other. I think that would be the best move here for down 1 Kia. They can trade Ryze or Jace. T1 here thinking about it, Ryze, Jace. They go for Ryze. I think that's better. While Jace, and especially Khan's Jace, is very oppressive and strong, I think Ryze just offers more for the team as a whole than just top lane pressure. They get in Trundle. Trundle obviously also here super effective against the Ryze. With the Renekton on the table, T1 might pick up the Renekton Nidalee combo here for Canna and Owner, but the thing is, Canna has only played Renekton once. Also Renekton into the Jace could become quite ugly, so this time they lock in the Viego again. Obviously Viego, super powerful champion. Didn't get to see that a lot in the first 2 games, but in the 3rd game we saw that absolutely. And we see the Gragas, which is super strange. Why do we have Gragas priority? Okay, the Gragas pick makes little sense. It's not a priority pick that you need to pick up now, and it's not in any shape or form a pick that will be banned away. Ashe being picked up for Ghost, so he's happy. And with Jace, Ashe and Trundle, down 1 Kia has a good siege comp and a good poke comp as well. So T1, they need engaged or they need split push. Showmaker here thinking about getting the LeBlanc. Obviously his 1000th kill is on the precipice. T1 here picking up Varus and Braum, so this confirms Gragas in either the top or into the jungle position. Varus Braum looking to demolish the Ashe Trundle potentially, or the Ashe X Seraphine. Seraphine being locked in, so Seraphine is going to be the support here for Barrel, the ranged supporter being able to bully the Braum, and with Ashe W range also very effective. So Gragas Jace top lane, probably going to be a tankier Gragas build, but with Canna's playstyle I think he's going to go for the AP Bruiser build, Viego Trundle jungle matchup. Nothing really to say, we have seen that in game number 1. Ryze LeBlanc, obviously LeBlanc favored early on, but then Ryze obviously the machine gun late game champion. Varus and Ashe going to be quite interesting for both of them, but the Seraphine obviously the surprising pick there. There's a reason we don't see her that often, because well, she has been nerfed, the items have been nerfed, she's not as strong as she used to be. So far I think we can be happy with either draft here. Down 1 Kia playing with a lot of range, on the other side T1 with a bit more scaling and yeah, a bit better side lanes I think, with the rise here. So overall, drafts are very decent from both sides. I think Damwon has a bit easier time with all the range and all the defensive capabilities, while T1 has not that much engaged. They have a Braum to protect themselves from the projectiles, they have a Varus to match the poke, and they have a Gragas cast to engage. But these tools are very diverse and not really targeted to lock down Damwon reliably. We have to see how in the end it all plays out. We obviously hope for the big T1 dub, but we have to wait and see. But please, people of the earth, give your energy to T1. Let's see that reverse sweep here. We lost today. Yeah, sad. We were this close. But I guess, well, it wasn't meant to be. But, yeah, well, we're going to win regionals. Trust me on that. And then, Worlds Finals against Damwon, we get our revenge. And T1 wins Worlds, right? We lost the battle, but we win the war. And yeah, we can only get better from this, right? Like, these young players, there were moments where, you noticed a bit of rashness, a bit of hesitation. Nerves were getting to them. Obviously, you could pinpoint at moments there, and wherever, where you can say, okay, here, this player fucked up, or this was bad. And yeah, we can do that, but in the end, like, it's a team thing, and I don't think we can say like one player played particularly bad. I think the younger players were a bit trigger happy. Owner, Canna, and Carrier at times were a bit too trigger happy, but that's what I'm talking about, right? Nerves. And overall it was a team thing, and I don't know if we can say Damwon was just the better team. They were playing very good, but yeah, we have beaten them, we have at least won one game, and we have shown that we, hold a candle to them, right? We didn't make it easy for them, so it's not fine, but, well, you win some, you lose some, I guess. So we congratulate Coach Kkoma obviously on his 10th title, Khan on his 6th, I think, and that's it for me for today. We see each other at the regionals. Our opponent is not confirmed yet. It could be Sandbox, it could be Nongshim, it could also be Chovy, by the way. That would be a banger, right? But yeah, that's it for today. We see each other around. Stay safe.